coming up live at 5.
I'm David Eberly, and tonight we'll showcase Eddie, a lamb who one day will be a part of the solution to fight invasive plant species in Georgia.
I'm Taft Gant here outside the Watkinsville City Hall, where tonight the City Council will take a vote to pass Watkinsville's first ever historic preservation ordinance. I'll tell you everything you need to know about the proposal.
And Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Moore spoke with 2022 commencement speaker K.B. Bryant about how to give a speech that prepares a student for life. That and more coming up live at 5.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Hello and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Carly Ferris. The Watkinsville City Council meets tonight at 6:30 to discuss the proposal of a historic preservation ordinance. Grady Newsource reporter Taft Gant joins us now live from Watkinsville to tell us about the vote. Hi, Taft.
Just about city members right behind me to vote on the passing of a historic preservation ordinance. City Council member Christine Tucker said she's going to be sitting in the seat. She's about to arrive. She's the one that proposed this historic preservation proposal, and if it doesn't go through, she said, and having Watkinsville have preservation of historic homes in the area. City Council meeting where a vote will take place to pass a historic preservation ordinance that City Council member Christine Tucker says is the first step in the historic preservation process.
We don't have a lot of historic homes and a lot of historic structures in Watkinsville, and over the last years we've been losing them.
Properties like this one right down the street from Tucker had a historic home demolished with intentions of building a new development. Longtime Watkinsville residents like Denise Neesmith and Aaron Zeiss appreciate the charm of their town and want to make sure the area does what it can to preserve it.
My opinion is that I really want to keep the charm of Watkinsville and preserve. I really want to keep that whole community kind of feeling.
I really like the integrity of the old structures. I think it brings a depth and a character to the area to be mixed and to have both. I think you can have both, but preserve what can be preserved.
This can be done in a way that really respects individual property rights while looking out for the preservation of the history of our community as a whole.
The meeting starts at 6:30 with a public hearing followed by a majority vote, with 3 of the 5 City Council members needed to vote yes in order for the ordinance to pass. With Grady Newsource, I'm Taft Gant.
Thanks, Taft. This morning, President Joe Biden announced the approval of a $1.2 billion student loan forgiveness plan. Grady Newsource reporter Emily Wisnowski tells us who the debt cancellation applies to and how it will affect UGA students.
The cancellation affects almost 153,000 borrowers on the Saving on a Valuable Education Repayment Plan, or SAVE plan. Master's student Josh Trelica, and financial advisor for undergraduates, says the SAVE plan makes student loans more manageable with payments based on income after graduation. He says this is especially beneficial for lower income graduates.
For the real do-gooder out there, this provides them like a way to not have to take that super high-paying job and be able to actually do what they want.
To qualify, loans must be on a minimum 10-year, maximum $12,000 repayment plan. 60% of 22 million student loan borrowers missed their first payment since the COVID pause resumed, the U.S. Department of Education says. Jordy Serafin says SAVE loan forgiveness is a first step in canceling all student loans. He says loans can steer students away from a higher education because of financial reasons.
Yeah, I mean, the threat of loans and like going into debt and then deeper into debt, it definitely discouraged me and like other people, like especially where I'm from, to not go to college. It's why a lot of people from my hometown don't end up going to college, or they go to a cheaper like community college or something like that. If they were to alleviate it, it would definitely encourage people to go.
Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Emily Wisnowski.
Oconee County residents beware. there have been reports of several calls from a scammer impersonating an Oconee County sheriff requesting money and threatening arrests. The Oconee County Sheriff's Office informed the public yesterday that calls have been coming in on the day of a loved one's funeral claiming to be with the funeral home and requesting credit card information for funeral insurance. Please do not fall for this. It is a scam. Bobby Rooker, the Madison County Food Bank Director for the last 13 years, is set to retire at the end of this month. Grady Newsource reporter Presley Owens is here to tell us about Rooker's time as director and what to expect with her retiring.
Bobby Rooker has been a friendly face around the food bank for countless years. She started her work with the food bank in 1992 as a volunteer and has been working with the Madison County Board of Commissioners as the director of the food bank ever since 2011. Rooker explained that she had a few goals when entering the role of director. She wanted to upgrade their space and have the community support the food bank. She says,
everything that is in this building is through donations only. So it is where it can sustain itself. And that was my goal, to have the community support the food bank.
She is happy with all that she has been able to achieve. Her sweet smile and servitude has created a lasting impact on the community. Volunteer Jessica Rossi says that while working at the food bank, she has gained a great experience that will help her in a career of dietetics. She says that she has learned many valuable lessons while working alongside Rooker, like this one.
That everyone comes on to hard times and not to judge them, and that everyone needs to be kind and to greet everyone with a smile.
Rooker is passing the torch to Jackie Morris, who has been working with the food bank for the last year. She says that Morris, along with the staff and volunteers, are more than capable of filling her role.
I feel like I'm leaving it in really good, competent hands and ready for the next chapter.
Morris says that while she is nervous to take over the role, she hopes to continue Rooker's legacy and make her proud.
I like to tell people, it's like, I am not filling her shoes. I am not taking her place. I'm merely continuing on her legacy. And my hope and prayer is that I will do a great job of carrying on her legacy and that I will make her proud.
When asked about her feelings towards retirement, Rooker said,
getting a little nervous as time gets closer, but I'm looking forward to it. I love gardening. I love working with my flowers. My Justin and we're going to go have a good time.
The residents of Madison County can expect things to still operate the same around the food bank even after Rooker is gone.
There's that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now it ain't broke, so we're going to keep it smooth transition as it's going right now.
New UGA research about the invasive Duro spider species reveals the spider's unusual ability to thrive in urban areas. Grady Newsource reporter Molly Langdon tells us about the research's future implications on Northeast Georgia.
Have you seen these brightly colored, large spiders in Northeast Georgia before? The research suggests Duro spiders attack at a lower rate when closer to disturbances, like in heavy traffic areas.
There's not many insect species or spider species in the world that are able to tolerate such stress and like anthropogenic activity, but these spiders just genuinely do whatever they want and go wherever they want.
The Asian orb-weaving spider species were accidentally introduced to North America and were first discovered in Georgia in 2014. They have been spreading throughout northern Georgia since. Athens resident Jonathan Gerber started seeing them in the fall when he moved into his house.
I know they build these large, complex webs. They're all like on my porch, outside my door, like all around, like, you know, my house, which is quite annoying. But I don't know too much about them biologically.
While there aren't very many of these Duro spiders out today because it's early in their season, we can definitely expect them, based off this new research, to be making their home in places like this behind me that are a little bit more quiet, and also in places that are... But they're also expected in a place like this with some traffic and a little bit more noise, or on a phone line or a street sign like the one behind me.
The spider, simply put, is not going anywhere. And I think people are either going to have to learn to like them or just get used to them.
After the break, we'll take a look at how the University of Georgia is commemorating Black history on campus.
Some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. It's now time for our solutions journalism piece. News media often focuses on the problems facing today's world. We want to take the time to spotlight what's missing, the solutions. I'm sitting here today with Grady Newsource reporter David Epperly. So David, could you tell us a little bit about how the goats are changing the game in the world of sustainability?
Sure thing, Carly. So grazing is becoming an increasingly popular solution to the invasive plant species in Georgia. And so I spent some time with a herd of goats and sheep to just see how effective it is, how people are responding, and I even made a new friend. His name's Eddie. Let's meet him. This is Eddie, and in a few short months, he'll be the next generation of grazers to chew through the invasive plant problem in Georgia. In Georgia, English ivy, kudzu, and Chinese privet are 3 of the most common invasive plant species and have impacted public property, residential communities, and forests, degrading habitats and reducing native plant diversity. To combat this issue, over the last 10 years, grazing has become an increasingly popular option in Atlanta for property owners and municipalities to maintain, and in some instances kill, these intruders. And as Chad Hudgens of Get Your Goat Rentals says, people are loving it.
When we show up to unload goats at someone's house, there's usually a welcoming party, 10 plus people, and everyone's extremely excited.
In the process, Hudgens rotates herds of up to 40 animals, depending on the land, and leaves them in an enclosure until the invasive vegetation is gone. A routine which he says takes roughly 3 to 5 days every half acre. But despite this method's acceptance, grazing methods like this, if not properly controlled, could lead to overgrazing, causing significant damage to an ecosystem, according to the UGA Center for Invasive Species and Ecosystem Health. A problem that Jennifer Chandler, owner of City Sheep and Goat, says she's heard before.
I've heard of goats stripping the bark off of every tree on the property, which was real bad. It kills all the trees.
But according to Hudgens and multiple studies, when properly conducted, routine goat grazing over time is reported to not only effectively remove invasive species, but also encourage native plant species to return to an area. And while Eddie and his siblings wait for their time to shine, his family will keep chopping away to protect Georgia's ecosystems. David Eberly, Grady Newsource.
The Steps Towards Diversity Tour remembers African American contributions at the University of Georgia during Black History Month. Grady Newsource reporter Jack Shields shows us some of the tour's most popular spots.
Many students walk past the arch on North Campus every day without realizing that one of the most historic landmarks on campus is right next to them. The Holmes Hunter Academic Building is named after Hamilton Holmes and Charlene Hunter, who were the first 2 African American students to enroll at the University of Georgia. The building is part of UGA's Step Towards Diversity Tour, which explores African American contributions across 10 locations on campus.
It's just like, wow, we finally have a stamp here, because like all the organizations at this school, we do things, but people just don't know about us. So it's nice to see that we're in like very pivotal spots around campus.
The outside of Tate Student Center features markers for UGA's black fraternities and sororities.
Although a lot of people don't know what they mean, but it's kind of just like a way to signify us, to let us know that we're also, I guess, important to the university.
African American students say that these organizations help build a sense of community at a predominantly white institution.
And once I joined, I met so many amazing black women doing amazing things in their fields. So that's really what pushed me to make sure that I'm staying motivated.
Back on North Campus, the Baldwin Hall Memorial remembers individuals who were originally buried at the site, most of whom were presumed to be slaves or former slaves. Just a few minutes away, the UGA Main Library hosts an exhibit that chronicles the university's history of desegregation.
We have a very diverse community, so I think everyone needs to have their spotlight, and not only during like Black History Month, honestly, or Hispanic Heritage Month. I think it needs to be showcased throughout the entire school year, because it's more than just like one race or one gender here.
I'm Jack Shields, Grady Newsource.
Coming up in sports, we'll learn about the update in college football playoff criteria, as well as some upcoming games to anticipate.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to Grady Newsource. I'm Abigail Watts with your sports update for today. The College Football Playoff Board of Managers has unanimously agreed to revise the college football playoff criteria to a 12-team event. Now that there will be 12 teams in the playoff, this means that the first round will consist of teams seeded 5 through 12 competing against each other, with the 4 highest ranked teams getting a bye. The quarter and semifinals will follow at the New Year's 6 bowl games. So, while many UGA football fans were upset that the team didn't make it to the national championship last season, the new playoff criteria will give the team a better shot in more teams a better shot in the playoffs. Looking forward to this week, we have lots of great sports events coming up. UGA softball will play here at the Turner Softball Stadium for the Georgia Classic Tournament this weekend. The softball team, which has been on a winning streak, will face Virginia Tech, Radford, and Dartmouth. Tonight, Georgia basketball will be playing Vanderbilt away in Nashville at 8:30. Their prospects for making the NCAA tournament are dwindling, but Coach White says that he's proud of the team for their resilience throughout the season.
Some of the comebacks that this team has made have been memorable. You know, that these guys, even in game, show that resilience as well, and that continued fight.
On Saturday, we'll see the Georgia-Auburn rivalry take place as the basketball teams compete here in Athens at 6 p.m. in Stegman. Today marks the start of the Major League Soccer season. The season will kick off with Inter Miami playing the Real Salt Lake. And of course, 8-time Ballon d'Or winner and World Cup champion Lionel Messi will be there for his second season with Inter Miami. That's all for your sports today. From Grady Newsource, this is Abigail Watts. Next up, we will hear from our weather report from Anna Ruth Riggins on what to expect for the rest of your week.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say, when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, that's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. And I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
Welcome back and happy Wednesday. It's another beautiful sunny day here in the Classic City. The high reached around 64 degrees today, and tonight you can expect clear skies with a low of 37. Thursday, it will be mostly sunny with the high around 68. I think the groundhog might have been right at the beginning of the month with an early spring prediction. However, the clear skies are going to come to a close in the night. There's a 90% chance of showers after 7 p.m. with a low around 54. You can also expect heavy gusts of winds as high as 30 miles per hour, so keep that in mind with any plans you have and beware if you have to drive anywhere, and maybe keep a jacket or umbrella around. Also, Friday, there's a 20% chance of showers and before 1 p.m., but after you can expect mostly sunny skies, which will be a great way to head into your weekend. The high will be around 67, but still expect some gusts of winds as high as 25 miles per hour. Saturday, it'll be sunny and a clear day with the high of 60 degrees. It'll be a great day to get outside and enjoy your weekend, whether you're headed to the tennis courts or going on a walk. You can also visit the local Athens Farmers Market at Bishop Park from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday night, it'll cool off quite a bit, around 33 degrees, so make sure you dress warm for any Saturday night plans you might have. Sunday will be a great way to end your week with a high of 64, so get out and enjoy the outdoors. The low is expected to be around 44 degrees. I'm Anna Ruth Riggins with another weather report. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you here after the break, where we'll hear about the spring commencement speaker deadline and more from Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Moore.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Thousands of students in the class of 2024 plan to graduate this coming May. Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Moore spoke to the 2022 speaker KB Bryant about what is important for them to hear as they say goodbyes in Sanford Stadium.
Go Dogs!
In front of 2022 graduation speaker KB Bryant before she spoke to 50,000 people.
Believing in what you're saying is what it matters, and having the confidence to stand up, do crazy things like that.
The commencement address is a chance for students to reflect on the last 4 years and look forward to all of the excitement that lies ahead.
Because commencement is it's a huge celebration of what you accomplished, and it's also a big signifier of things to come. I think having a nice call to action at the end of your speech is really good.
It's crucial that the application committee selects the candidate that is best fit for the position.
The big thing is communication and your delivery style, just being confident and eloquent and clear in conveying your message and, knowing your audience.
I wanted to take that time to be yes, you should celebrate the fact that you graduated, but also look back on the times that you spent at UJ, celebrate those walks in between classes, or even the bus rides where it's packed and you're trying to get on a Tate, something like that. All of the little moments in there as well matter just as much as the big moments and lead up to that. And those are also worthy of recognition and celebration and accomplishments.
Applications for this spring's graduation ceremony are due this Friday at 5 p.m.
I didn't put a lot of, stock in myself. It was just I'll try. The worst they can say is no.
For Grady Newsource, I'm Jessica Moore.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Carly Ferris with Grady Newsource. Have a good night.
Learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So, wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay. No worries, we're family. I could be your mother probably. You're probably. Oh, something fell. Oops.
We're good to go.
All right. Do you want to come in and talk? All right, guys. Well, you pulled it off with less people, with all the, chaos we had. We weren't sure if we would get all the content, and we ended up with enough content, good content. I'll watch it again. And glad we got the Joros fighters in. That was a very creative stand-up. Yeah, I like that. I would just, we can watch it again. I just have one tiny little thing, because you said you can watch it here, and then in your next one, you again said, and here. So maybe just kind of here, and then don't say, and here. We see you in another place. But it was very, very creative. I really like it. I really liked it. But, yeah. I'm glad it made air, but you understood my point about it. Yeah, and thank you for everything you went over. You put in Karina's script, and you were putting in all sorts of things, and you really helped us out in the last moment. So that meant a lot. But before we continue with the editorial, I'm hearing myself back.
The room in there.
All right. So it's over to you, Andrew, about the live shot. Taft's live shot didn't work out, but it could have worked out had he not.
Yeah, so
moved.
Right. So essentially what happened is before the show, we tested the video and audio, and the audio and video were both working, but then after the test, he moved somewhere else within the building or facility that he was at. And I don't know if he was on Wi-Fi or if he was using his cell data or whatever, but wherever he went to in that building just had bad reception, whatever it was. So that's why his audio was kind of going in and out during the show. So maybe just like a little tip is like, once we do the test, let's test where you're going to be at before, and then that way you just don't have to move throughout the show. And then that way we know that where you're at, we'll make sure that's a secure connection, whether on Wi-Fi or cell data or whatever it might be. If we're using Zoom. If it's a live shot where we're using like the actual camera and equipment that we get from Jim, then we don't have to worry about that because that's going over a cell tower. That's something separate. So.
Yeah, so don't move. If you're doing the Zoom, once we check it out and it works, don't move, because in the rural areas, the Wi-Fi is not very reliable. So.
And something else I want to mention too is the reason that we went to his Look Live package was because that's the one that was loaded. We didn't have the other package, the donut that he had made in Rundown on the TriCaster. So that's the reason the tech team went to that. So maybe just double checking those when putting those in too.
And labeling them as
yes.
Donut and Look Live.
Mm-hmm. Other than that though, I think everything went well. The packages are looking good and everything. Didn't hear any complaints on the audio side. So seems like that's going good too. But other than that, I just want to say great job.
Yep. So Jack, would you like to tell us, you were the first one on Monday who did the Zoom Live, and you sort of told us about it, but I'm thinking maybe the students have some questions. I want you to reassure them and explain to them how it works. So start like the solution story. Show us how it works. So first you get an email, right, with the Zoom link. And then what did you do?
So you keep Unity up, which is the app that you use for the live shots to communicate with the producers. And then...
Because otherwise you won't be able to know when you're on, right?
Right.
So you're not totally blind standing there. You're still cued in. And were you wearing your earbuds?
I put an AirPod in.
Yeah.
And connected it to my phone. So I was on Zoom and Unity, and I don't know what I heard it through. but I only heard Lucy like cueing me and then the package. So I didn't hear anyone any producers.
But was it enough instructions for you to?
It was enough, and then Taft too was helping me because he texted my phone to tell me like, all right, 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah, I saw him doing that, so that was helpful as well. The producer texting you.
Yes.
And then you went, and then how were you able to sort of get your bearings and know what's going on? And
I mean, I did.
Were you hearing yourself, for example, were you hearing air, or you just kind of assumed, because you couldn't see a package, that's what I'm thinking. Were you able to hear your package, your donut?
Yeah, so I heard my package and I knew when it ended. So I waited a couple seconds after that to talk again, to tag out.
So basically you do hear, I just wanted to make sure, because I haven't done a live shot on Zoom, so I wanted to make sure that you're not totally in the dark. You are hearing your package. As soon as you hear your sig out, that gives you a sign that you should toss back to the anchor.
Yeah. No, if anyone wants to do a live shot, it's not that bad. Like, the first one was rough because of technical issues, but like once you do it one time, it's pretty easy to do. And Taft, you timed it perfectly too. And there was just issues with the mic, which you can't do anything about. So
it turned out because you moved after we tested your audio. That's what Andrew said, that you moved, and you moved in an area where the reception wasn't very good. That's what happened. He thinks that's what happened. He thinks that was the reason, because in rural areas, it's the reception is, the Wi-Fi is not that reliable. So even moving a few steps could impact it. Yeah, but it didn't work, which meant that where we tested you, it worked, and the other one, it doesn't matter. We really appreciate you trying. And what can you share with us from your experience? Oh no, I was hoping you would reassure that. Okay, it was very stressful.
Like 4:30 to 5:30, I was just trying to keep my audio
And give us the process. That's what I asked. I don't know if you heard Jack, but so you have the Zoom link, and then what do you do? To explain to people, like if they have to do it, step number one is you do this, then you do that, then it gets very stressful, and then and then it's okay.
Zoom link, Andrew, and then you open up the Zoom, test your audio, and make sure that it's a good connection.
That's what the control room does. Test your audio, make sure the connection is good. As soon as you heard in your ear that Carly had tossed you, say, "Hi, Taft." Yeah. Yeah, we rejiggled your lead a little bit. We hope we didn't turn you off, but we rewrote it a little bit and had the high Taft in it. But so we didn't. Okay.
I can barely hear Carly. Yeah, it's hard to hear because you're jacked up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of just waiting for it to sound off, and I was just
Were you wearing your earbuds or no? Okay, because Jack, you were wearing earbuds, so he was able to hear air through that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So did you feed and label Look Live and Donut? Because what they found was your Look Live, and so they played your Look Live instead of your Donut. So did you feed the two? They couldn't find the Donut? And did you guys call them, Donut and Look Live?
The issue, I think, was that in the floated package, we had the Look Live because that was if it went down.
Yeah.
So whenever it did go down, they grabbed that instead of the donut that was in the original block, which was just a miscommunication.
Yeah.
think whenever it went down, they took the float one, maybe. So, yeah, but I like reported on.
But they don't look at the scripts, float, unfloated strip. They look at small tree.
And everything was in small tree.
Yeah. And labeled, yeah. Okay.
He titled them the right way, and I've watched them before.
Okay, okay.
So I think that it was just the graphs were wrong.
Yeah. But you are just, you popped on screen. I mean, the camera really loves you. That was, don't feel bad, even though we couldn't hear you. It's just like your presence is very strong, and we just kind of enjoyed and were rooting for you, that you would come back. Yeah. But you didn't show. The most important thing is that I couldn't tell. Guys, could you tell he was stressed? No, right? Yeah. So. Well, I'm glad you didn't say that on air. Yeah. Thank you for saying that, because I've been telling everybody bullet points. That's how I do it, and I'm glad that you said it, because now I think they believe that it's the right way to do it. I know you want to have those sentences, but he's telling you, I've had that. I mean, I stopped doing sentences because they didn't help me. It's like you can't find your way in sentences, but you can find your way in a bullet point. And the bullet point reminds you what you should be talking about.
I didn't believe you.
I know, good. I'm glad that I'm sorry you learned the hard way, but yeah. You need that bullet point. Yeah. And what I quickly go through my mind right before the live shot, what are the 3 things I wanted to say? And I remind myself. Yeah. And if you forget, you can quickly look down, and it's a bullet point with just 3-4 words. So it's very quick to remind yourself, where you're going next and what you want to say. I highly recommend it, and I'm so grateful that you said that. Yeah, because I think it'll help. It's not just me, but you too, that you find that the sentence just, I don't know, Jack, about you, when you were live, what worked for you, whether it was full sentences and paragraphs or just those bullet points.
I made the same mistake as Tab. The first time I tried to memorize full sentences. Second time did what you said, 3 bullet points, and then 2 for the tag, and just ad-lib. Way easier.
Yeah, it puts you at ease because you can quickly. That's what I do also with my interviews, live interviews. I have talking points, not the full question, because again, same thing, there's no time to read it. And so if you have a bullet point, you're quickly reminded, or a fact you need to bring up with your question, and you're nervous that you'll get it wrong, you look up the fact, 25 kilograms, something, and you feel more comfortable. So I'm glad, guys, you're learning that, because it's going to help you a lot and help you loosen up on air and relax a little bit. But I always rehearse real quick, what were the 3 things I wanted to say. And usually I don't even look at my bullet points, because they give me so much, reassurance that I hardly ever have to look at them, but it's good to have them. Yeah. So thank you for saying that.
The second one's way easier.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance to do it again.
Yeah. And even though it was stressful, try it, because you need it for your reels, and it's better for you. If things go wrong, not so many people will see it. So, yeah. And David, what your experience with Carly? You guys did great. I love the sense of humor, and I love the fact that you let go of that prompter and you actually looked at him and he looked at you. And I wonder, for me as an anchor, and when I'm talking to someone, it's easier for me to let go and to really, because you're talking to someone, and that's what I even imagine. When I'm doing a live, I imagine talking to Carly, to my anchor, and that really helps me let go, and because I'm talking to somebody. I don't know if you felt that way, David.
Yeah, no, I did. I mean, I've been in like so many classes with Carly, and me, him, and Jack always sitting on the
Oh,
side.
so you guys know each other.
I mean, I'm pretty comfortable just.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like when I anchored and I had Joe as the floor director. Like you see someone that you know in there with you, and you know that they're in the same kind of boat as you are. So it really makes it a lot less hard.
Yeah. To me also it was very helpful. I could be on the other side of the world, and the anchor in Atlanta is a friend. And it just helped me to imagine I'm talking to her. And when I imagine talking to someone, I'm more conversational, and that helps me also with my delivery, and I connect more with the viewer because I'm genuine. I let go, and that's what both of you were. And Carly, you didn't show how stressed you were before. I couldn't believe it, but you didn't show it, and you did great. Would you like to share what reassured you, or if because you let go, and actually, in the pre-recorded tease, you appeared to be more stressed than you were actually live on camera. If you watch it, you'll see you're more natural and kind of less stressed out live. So we're always going to put you live on air. That's it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was just because beforehand I still was stressing about having to be live, but then when I was live, I was just kind of like, I'm live. Like, let's just have fun with it.
Couldn't get worse.
Yeah, and I felt comfortable with everybody in the room, and it was just, I don't know. I tried to just kind of relax and. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I just tried to pretend like I wasn't stressed, and that helped, I guess.
Well, whatever you did helped, and thanks for sharing with everyone else, because it helps everyone. And so Lucy, she was so nervous. Did you relax now? That was a good show, your first one. You want to share something?
Oh yes, and Lucy in my ear was great too. She was just like, "Oh, great job," after everything I did, which was nice and very assuring. I was like, "Okay, I'm doing this."
Yep, it's important. Yeah. You want to, Anna Ruth, if you want to say something, grab the mic.
Yeah, that was fun. Everybody did great. I'm really proud of the anchors. They did a really, really good job, and the interview went amazing. And even though the live didn't go exactly as we planned, that's okay. We figured it all out, and it was fine. And if you're going to be TV producer, just don't stress out as much at the end, because it does get really stressful. So just like try to stay as calm as possible.
What stressed you out the most? What were you?
I think the timing stressed me out the most. We went over a little bit today, and which was really surprising because I really thought we were going to be under like the entire day, and then it hit like 3 o'clock and we were like way over, and then I'm floating things and stuff like that. But I think the timing in that room is like kind of stressful. Just making sure you're ready.
To me, that's the most challenging thing when you're there live and you've got to. And we ended up 1 minute heavy, so we didn't. Were we in the real world, we would have made our shareholders really mad, because a minute, that's 2 commercials that we lost millions of dollars or whatever in commercial time. Yeah, so it is hard to time, and that's why you need all these options, all these pieces to work together, and just kind of float, unfloat. Yeah. Anything else? Any other words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Oh yeah. Well, stay calm. And,
everything is lost. Just
make sure you stay communicating with everybody, and stay on top of it.
Yeah. Hannah, how did we do? Do you want to share? How did we do on digital? How was your day?
It was good. I posted, I think I did 3 Instagram posts, 2 stories. I did 3 or 4 Facebook posts. And then I'm going to, Dr. Bright had the idea to make David's story like a web story. So I'm going to turn his script into like a web story with his sojo on it to give more exposure to the website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it went good today.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. You could put this on your portfolio also as engagement, social media, that kind of digital producing is really, because newsrooms are now integrated, so if you're able to put that also on your portfolio as an example of work you've done as a digital producer, that's very helpful. Anybody else wants to talk, to share anything? So whose packages did we not run? Did you? Because it was all, I don't know, a blur to me, and
I tried to run as many stories as I could.
But I think we ran everybody's. I mean, including the Joro Spider, which was from Monday.
I think we did all of the packages that got done. I think.
Yeah.
We're down 2. Wait. And Karina didn't have one, and Ashley's didn't end up working out either.
So we were down 4.
So we were down 4.
Yeah.
So we ran every possible one that we could run.
Yeah. I liked Presley. That she was such a cute this lady. She was so cute. Just one thing I've mentioned to everybody: don't interview 2 different sources in the same place. You had the new lady and the old lady in the same place by the refrigerator. It worked with the old lady, but the new one may be in her something new office or something. But it was very heartwarming. I just thought that it was very heartwarming. Really nice character, that lady. And did you have? I didn't see her in sort of in B-roll in her environment, walking around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because you had the other, the third SOT, which is like the lady who's taking over. You had a little bit of her working, but we didn't see her head. But I assumed that it was her. So try to get the head in, but that was the way to introduce. That was the right way to introduce a soundbite with. Yeah. So I like the package. Nice close-ups. Take a tripod. You know, there was a little bit of shakiness in some of the. Some of the clips, but it was nice. And it's again the characters that make such a huge difference. Yeah, it was very heartwarming. And yeah, David, I'll watch the Sojo. It looked very interesting, but I'll watch it to make sure that for the principles and stuff and give you some feedback. Jack, I thought that was also very heartwarming, and I'm glad we did that tour. And you did a great job, and you had great characters. Those 2 girls were just amazing. They were just so well spoken and so engaging, and kudos to you for finding them. And just the second one, you had no headroom, so that's the only thing but I thought it came together. I thought it came together very well, and we needed that. So. Yeah, in general, I thought that the packages were very strong, very stressful to get to that, but I'll take a look. I wasn't able to look at other packages as close as I did these because it was a little, a little chaotic. Yeah, guys, so I will let you go 3 minutes early, get some rest, and Monday, bring your best game for the CNN producer. Think of things that you want to ask, and try to impress her. You never know.